Hey guys, and welcome to this video tutorial on using the drop shadow function of CSS. Upon making this video, I am assuming two things. First, I'm assuming that you know somewhat of how to code a website using HTML, CSS, and second, I'm also assuming that you are fairly skilled with using CSS alone. And for that, I'm not going to be using Dreamweaver to edit the code. I'm going to be using another program called Coda, which is good if you really want to get into the developing part of a website. So we'll go ahead and open that, and I'm going to put a link below in the description for where you can go to download Coda. It does cost money, but it's well worth it. And of course, you get like a 14 or 15-day free trial of it, just to see if you actually want to purchase it. So I'll go ahead and I'll open up my index.html and my style.css. And I'm sure inside of your HTML file that you want to apply the CSS drop shadow to, you have your divs and everything's all set up the way that you want it. But I'm just going to use this as a demonstration. So whatever div that you want the drop shadow applied to, that's what ID you're going to edit inside of your CSS. So for me, right now, my page looks like this. And this div is just called box. So I'm going to edit, I want the drop shadow behind the div that is titled box. And that's right here. So we go into our CSS and we'll see that we have box right there. And if we want to add the drop shadow, we just type in box-shadow, just like that. And the cool thing about Coda is if you see that right there, when you start typing, it's automatically giving you things that it thinks you might want to insert into your CSS. Now, of course, I just want the box shadow, but it goes ahead and brings that up. So we can go ahead and hit just enter. Now what we want is we want to enter our horizontal offset for our box shadow, which if we want the shadow right behind it, we'll just hit 0 pixels. Then next comes the vertical offset, which I'll have at 0 pixels as well. And the third number that you're going to insert is the blur radius in pixels, and just for something dramatic, we'll go with 30. And after this, we put in our color, and I do want black. Alright, now if you just do this, you'll notice that it may or may not show up on your screen, but in most browsers, this will not work with just this box shadow line here. Go ahead and see, it didn't work. And the reason for that is that we basically need a conditional CSS statement, or CSS rule, stating to show the box shadow whether you're in Mozilla Firefox or you're in a web browser that's using WebKit. And WebKit is used by Safari and Google Chrome, and of course Mozilla is Firefox. And the cool thing is that Coda knows those conditional tag statements. So we'll go ahead and we'll just type in our hyphen, which means that we're going to do a conditional statement. And you'll see the very first thing that comes up is Mozilla's. So we'll just type in MOZ, and then we'll give it another hyphen here. And we'll just type in box, and it's right here. And we'll just go down and select it. So we want hyphen, MOZ hyphen, box hyphen shadow. And then from there, you can pretty much just come up here and copy this and bring it down into this and paste it. And then you'll want to insert the one for WebKit, which is a hyphen, WebKit. And we can go ahead and from here we can just copy this box, do that, bring it down, and paste it. And there we go. And we'll save that, and we will have a drop shadow behind our box div, just like that. So as you can see, it's fairly simple to insert the code insert the drop shadow rules into your CSS, and how to apply them to the div that you wish to have them applied to. Now some of you may be wanting an inner shadow to go along the inside of it instead of the outside. And that's pretty simple, and in order to do that, you just come in right after the semicolon after each shadow and just type inset. Just like that, and we'll save, and we'll go to the YouTube test page, and there it is. And there you have your inner shadow for your div. Now, I will put this code in the description below, and if you're interested in this, then you can follow me on Twitter at Clay_Collie, and you can also fan me on Facebook, which I'll put a link below for that too. You can find me on DeviantArt as well as LinkedIn, and also I'll just put all the links and everything in the description. So hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back soon with another tutorial.